Welcome back to my channel, guys. Today we're going to review the RMRK app, RMRK token. That is top-down view, basic. You can see nothing's really super red with it. Social media is low. That's a good thing. Price action is indeterminate because it's relatively new trading. It does have a live niche, things like that. So let's just get really into it. So what is RMRK? RMRK is they're building a metaverse. It's on the Kusama blockchain, and it is NFT standards and NFT background. Like a protocol, the foundational layer for non-fungible tokens. So for an example, something like that it could do is let's imagine that NFTs could own land or represent pieces of land in a metaverse. And then that piece of land can own other NFTs, like a billboard would be an NFT, etc. And that billboard could have functionalities and, like split ownership, governance over just the billboard on the land, or the land itself could be governed by several token holders, because it could be split into subsections. So the land could be split into sub NFTs. And then also, this could be it split into pieces, and it could also own sub NFTs, like this could be gaming, it could be hats. So basically this is the infrastructure, and hopefully me talking about this can help you elaborate, or could help you understand the potentiality of, like this running games, or this running the background infrastructure of assets, any kind of scarce item within a virtual environment. So it could be anything. It's up to the designer to make it, because that's what this code will allow for. But what they are building a metaverse. That's what RMRK is aiming to do. And they have I'll get further down the details of what they have right now. But NFTs that could be split into sub-NFTs with functionalities, unique interactions, governance capabilities, etc. The backbone of the infrastructure type project for NFTs on Kusama. So like one interview, here's an example. I'll go over this interview so that you can get a better picture of what this can do. But it's basically Kusama's NFT ecosystem. So Bruno Skvork is the founder, and he's got a background in Flash, PDF reader in Flash. That's where he's got his developer's experience. Allowing in-browser PDFs. At the time they didn't exist. His programming experiences in JavaScript, PHP, and Solidity. In 2015, he jumped into the Web3, so that means he's insightful and he has prescience because he could see that crypto was going to be a big deal. And he built standards, rules for NFTs on Kusama. That's what we're basically building here. That's what they're building. The tools for custom nodes on the blockchain. And at the 20-minute point of this interview, what we are building is frequent activity NFTs, which is impossible and on any other system, even Matic. We chose an environment which allows for rapid innovation of new standards, move fast and break things. Our NFTs are unrestricted in capability. That's an extremely powerful thing. They're building the docs and the modules currently as we speak, and they're allowing for extremely complicated possibilities. Some of the stuff that they built in the past brought down the Kusama mainnet, so that is good. This is what Kusama is for moving fast and breaking things. That's why they like Kusama, and I think they're going to stick with Kusama as well. They like to build, like they're building a global MMO, multiplayer online environment. Progress can pick and choose functionality palettes. Projects can choose the functionality palettes that they're building. And then they were talking about physical and parachain partnerships with NFT interactions and benefits. So they have some partnerships working there. RMRK standards likely to become the go-to standard on the Polkadot Kusama ecosystem, and this is probably why Gavin Wood talked about this project. Cross-chain NFTs. Okay, so that is important too, cross-chain NFTs, allowing for the NFTs to do different things in different work environments. On their way, so, like they said, when they do cross-chain interactions, cross-chain inner capabilities, it allows for, it automatically adopts the standards that they're setting up. On their website, they basically say liquid, forward compatible, nested, conditional, multi-resourced NFTs. So, you could trade them. They will work in compatibility with any future versions of software. Nested means that, like there's several layers to the architecture of NFTs. They could have several layers of complexity. Conditional meaning functionality like code, and multi-resourced meaning you could generate it, like an NFT could be created by multi-NFTs. Like some kind of new functionality, like, oh, you find some gold in a game and silver and you make something new with it or something, by combining them. So you can, create a simulation of reality on top of something like this, if you really think about it. All right, so I'm going to get into it more in depth, reading across the evaluation. So future increase in demand for the token, I think that is possible. Price FOMO, I think that is possible. Regarding the social media awareness, that is early. Not a lot of people are aware of this, so that is a good thing. It is a project that's under the radar. However, Gavin Wood did tweet about it recently, so that brought it on the radar of a lot of people when Gavin Wood did that. Regarding their token, you can see that I think that there's some cautionary things with how this is yellow right here, but it turns green because of the roadmap, if they can deliver. So in Q4 and Q1, multi-chain capabilities will go live. In Q4 of 21, they're going to have curation and verification, just more capabilities of creating and verifying NFTs. Q4, DeFi and liquid providing collateral functionalities of this year will be done. Q4, the metaverse, so they hope to have a metaverse by the end of the next year. Q1, the DAO will go live, and the DAO collateral functionalities. So right now, this project is centralized because the DAO is not live, but it will move along this spectrum. It will move along this spectrum to become more decentralized when that DAO goes live in the Q1 of next year. So that is what you can look forward to on the roadmap as it stands right now. Money needed to move up, price decreases. I put that as dependent on, on things. Token sell side to decrease, neutral. FOMO, so I put, so the recent price action, so you don't have to worry about the price action because it's new, so it is a new token. Okay, so regarding low inflation, there is no inflation and the tokens are distributed, so that is a really good thing right there. And regarding token supply distribution, they have a good distribution. And even if, they didn't, it has dividend irrelevancy because of the structure of what they will have is burning functionality, which is good. They will burn tokens from losers in reporting of bad behavior. So if someone does something bad, like NFTs that shouldn't be around, anything you could imagine there, they will lose their, you have to put up stake in order to put something up. And if you misreport it, or if someone, it becomes like a mediation to make sure that the stuff that's on there is good, and the loser will end up losing stuff, so you don't want to report something bad. But the winner wins some of the other person's money, so you want to report it if you think you have a strong case. Low market cap. It is a low market cap at roughly 90 million as we're stands right now. Exponential growth. Well, this is something I put as cautionary, but keep in mind, okay, so this is on top of Kusama, and Kusama is not getting adopted that, it is on an exponential adoption. Let's put it that way. The adoption of Kusama is exponential. However, it's only been live recently, but you can see in May, this is the graph of Kusama, and it started off with 5K at the beginning of the year, and now we're at like 50, and it spiked up to 135 around May. So something happened there. Well, I think that might be the parachain auctions. So Kusama's only been live for a little bit of time, and it's got about 135,000 unique addresses that have interacted with it. And it's got really it's moved from 1,000 daily active accounts to 2,000 daily active accounts. These are low numbers. But, then again, that we're talking daily. So that's, like if I do something on Kusama, I often do it once in a week or something. So there's probably 7 times this people engaged in the network, etc. So about 10,000 people, maybe. Who knows? But these are still low numbers. But once again, Kusama hasn't been live that long, but I want to see this it is on an exponential growth curve, so we could say that, but I think it's too early to say that this thing is on an exponential growth curve, and that's important to consider. It's important to watch these numbers on Kusama, because Kusama is the run environment for this. So if Kusama starts getting traction, this project will probably do very well, especially considering it has a low market cap. But that's dependent on Kusama getting some traction, getting some more users, more of the services going live, and that is happening. There's a lot of services going live on Kusama, but once again, I like to see things get active, so let's watch that. Regarding niche, it does have a niche, which is NFTs frameworks. Singular is the user interface for Kusama's NFTs, and this is the project that is running that. So basically, this is the NFTs on Kusama, is Remark. And then there's Canaria, which is NFT, eggs, birds, etc. Okay, so token used for services and governance. So let's just go over what the token actually does. You stake it to mint NFTs, return after NFTs are verified. So that's where I told you about like people putting up appropriate content. Metaverse, collateral and actions. So, their token's going to be used for collateral in the metaverse that they're going to build. Reporting, someone requires Remark, etc. So I've explained that already. 10 Remark to remain a verified artist. So you are going to have to put up some Remark to be a verified artist. And you are no longer verified if you remove that 10 remarks, so it has to remain staying there. And it will also run the DAO when the DAO goes live. Now, here's the thing you should think about. What is the value of the target market? Well, NFTs in an interoperability layer with many capabilities, such as gaming, communities, and internet culture, memes, and who knows? It's up to human imagination. So that's what I ultimately put. I said something about 10 billion maybe. Is something that this could be worth right now. Right now, it's probably a $10 billion market. But we don't really know. This is up. I don't know how big this market will be. It's new territory. NFTs, it's an experiment with our minds, with programmability. I think that this is going to be experiment space for maybe the next decade, because we're talking about a lot of capabilities with this technology, like scarcity, that's programmable. In the most broadest sense. So gaming, digital storage, like anything, simulations, whatever. So I don't know. It's up to the human imagination. And so I'll leave that at that, which is exciting and also brings risk, right? So that is that. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so how is the governance work right now? Where is it now? It doesn't mean it will be this way always, right? But right now, its degree of centralization is low because it doesn't have the DAO live. But at the DAO, when they release the DAO, the token distribution is really good, and so it will probably move to high decentralization when the DAO goes live. But keep in mind, it's on top of Kusama, and Kusama's probably in this, actually Kusama's in this range right here, somewhere between medium and high. And so this thing will be like that as well. Okay, so when something is in this path, that means it's extremely important that the CEO and the team are high quality and 100% trust in the team. And I ultimately did say that is the case. The vision wasn't like some super grandiose vision. It was basically NFT Legos interconnected NFTs. I didn't see really any mission statements or anything like a formal company, but like they have what they're building. So it is what it is. Okay, so evidence that the management is trustworthy. This is how I even heard about this project. Was Gavin Wood put out a tweet about it. He said, some great work by the Remark team integrating Kusama's statement unique palette, looking forward to next generation of Singular. So that is the NFTs on Kusama. And so he's excited about that. And I'm excited about it as well. This is interesting stuff, experimental stuff. So that means that this project has been officially vouched by some of the best talent in the whole crypto space, strategic partners and backers. So that's part of that backers component. Okay, so what is this? Oh, and then they're also going to have smart contracts on Moonbeam, so that's a partnership right there. And then major onboard. I didn't see any major onboards, so that's yellow. Major onboards, but they, it's much of the Kusama ecosystem basically is who's working with them right now, and they do have those partnerships, and so we got to see. This project is heavily dependent on the success of Kusama. All right. So that's something to consider. Large business models that demand token to reflect their needs. Now, I put this as neutral, even though in the future it may be designed so that businesses want to own it. But once again, it needs adoption of the metaverse. Without this, no. With this, and if there's eyeballs, if there's people using it, then yes. So I put too early to tell whether businesses will need this. This is just too early for me to tell. If this thing starts getting adoption, though, it will have businesses buying the token to represent their opinions, advertisements, or be part of the community, etc. But that it needs eyeballs, it needs people, it needs that adoption for that to be a relevant component. But it would be a factor if it does get adopted. But I put, just being caution here. So that is that. CEO scores, so this is another cautionary thing. They have prescience, that means they can see trends very well. They're smart developers, but they don't have any success as large business startups. They haven't done any startups that have been widely successful and made huge amounts of money for their shareholders. So that is something to show caution with. And so I put them as a neutral. I put them as a neutral 6, but they are very talented developers. Let's see if they can turn this thing into something that produces returns for those who back them, such as the shareholders. Regarding evidence that the management is trustworthy, I noticed that they are straightforward, consistent, and they also offer valuable information, and they're pretty understanding of the tech. So that makes the ultimate conclusion that management is trustworthy. Bruno Zavorik, founder, background in developing Flash, animating scripting languages, brought to you by Adobe, or is bought by Adobe. Interactive gaming interest, interactive games, interactions, run a machine, no browser, run in the machine. This is some of the stuff he's worked with, right? Apple, and then eventually part of the history, Apple smashed some of the technology he was working on. So what is Singular? That's basically just the UI for Kusama. It's that NFT marketplace. If you're looking for NFT opportunities, you can look at Kusama's Singular app, and you might notice that some of those NFTs have done very well, financially speaking. So right now, it does require trust. That is something to consider about this project because it is in that stage of development. But so since we concluded that they're trustworthy, high quality actions will come, and we think that they'll do well. And so it leads to all these things. High value upgrades probably will happen. Value of services to increase. I expect that to be the case. User experience will get better. Developer motivation, they have money for that. And developer experiences is some of the best in the field. Kusama and Polkadot has some of the best developer experience. What is developer experience? That is libraries, tools. If I'm a developer, I'm trying to solve problems. It's the libraries, it's the toolkits, it's the code that's available to me to help me get my job done quicker and easily with low friction. So all of those things are good. Now, regarding the best of the competition, I said no. It is the best technology. I think this is the best technology with NFTs that there is right now that I've seen, that I've run into. But it does not mean it will capture market share. There's plenty of projects that are not successful that have the best tech, but they don't have the market share. And this is not a first mover advantage. That's why I put that as no. Flywheel, not relevant yet. Head-to-head projects like... like there's nothing I could find on that. Major, it's not a major project, so it's not going to have those major figureheads to talk about besides, like Gavin Wood, etc. May establish in the future by grabbing cross-chain network effects. So it could get that viral effect. If this thing gets going and it captures a lot, it's possible in the future that a moat will be established and it will capture market share. If this thing is successful as the interoperability and NFT protocol and people move to Kusama, once again, I like to emphasize this thing is highly dependent on the success of Kusama, and so that network effect is something you want to see. But if Kusama becomes successful, this is likely the most successful NFT platform that you'll be seeing. And that will be the network effect. But for now, I put it as neutral because it's too early to tell. First mover advantage is a big no. It is not a first mover, but it is, like I said, the best technology. All right, so I think I went over everything there. Finally, pros and cons, the ultimate summary, or, let me start here. Is it a low market cap with accomplished CEO? I put no. But is it early to social media? Yes. And live niche? Yes. So there's two of the really good things to find right there. Okay, so pros, very technical team, with a good technical background. Best tech for NFTs that exist. I think this is the best NFT technology there is. Best developer ecosystem. Yes, Polkadot and Kusama have the best developer ecosystem. Small market cap and good distribution. That is very good. Social media is low. It's not very, like, not a lot of people are aware of it, but, you know, Gavin Wood did tweet about it. They got it some price action and awareness. And it's endless possibilities. That is the most exciting thing here, is this is endless possibilities with NFTs. The cons is it's lacking, Kusama and this project, you know, Kusama in general is lacking adoption yet. But, you know, like, there's a bunch of things going live, and I expect that exponential release of products is build it and they will come. That is what I'm thinking with the exponential release of services in this ecosystem. But that is not the case yet, so you have to be honest with that. No major home runs in the team history regarding making people rich or whatever. I didn't see any, like, major successful companies, etc. Highly successful startups, and not the first mover. So that's the cons. All right, I think I covered everything. Okay, so that is the goal of my channel, guys, to cover things in an unbiased way and try to bring the best information available in the format that will equal the prize probabilities of high returns. So if you like that kind of content, please like and subscribe. And now I'm going to go into my Patreon section and describe what my ultimate actions are after considering this evaluation. Later, guys.